Hello students, this is Pramod Jadhav from Silver Green English School Vidyanagari. Today we will study a lesson of English for class 10th. The name of the chapter is The Thief's Story. Now already we have discussed in the first part about this story, and you can see this is the story in which two characters are there. One is Anil and second one is thief, who is constantly changing his name whenever he is meeting to new person, whenever he is planning to steal money or planning to grab money of anyone, so he is changing his name. He is also changing his address. So, here, now in this story also, as he met Anil when Anil was watching wrestling match, he tried to flatter him. After that, he also somehow won the confidence of Anil and then entered in his house. Now, slowly, he is very nearer to the Anil. Now, let's see what happened in the second part of this story. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. So, here, friends, in the first part, we have seen Anil was giving money to the thief for purchasing the things for cooking like groceries and vegetables. So from that also he was making the profit of 1 rupee, and because you can see here he was not getting any salary. So here did not seem to mind, not to be annoyed or worried about something. So the thief thought that Anil knew very well this, but Anil is not showing any annoyance or any worry about it. Anil made money by fits and starts. He would borrow 1 week and the next he keep sorry he kept worrying about his next check. But as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines a queer way to make a living. So Anil doesn't have any particular source of income, continuous source of income, we can say, because he was writing. He was borrowing money from his friends whenever he was not having, and whenever he was having money, whenever he is earning money, so he was what giving reback that money to the person from whom he has already taken money, he has already borrowed money. So Anil was always worrying about his next check, means money. But as soon as it arrived, and when it comes, he would go out and celebrate. And then he was celebrating, he was spending his money and enjoying. So, a queer way to make living to earn money to support oneself. Queer means strange. So, thief thought it is very strange way to earn money. So, here now thief is also thinking about Anil's money. Next, one evening he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. Now, see, one evening Anil was having lots of money, bundle of notes, and thief was observing everything. And thief again giving us the source of money, how Anil earned the money. So Anil had sold a book to a publisher, and that night the thief saw Anil how he was keeping money in a safe way under the mattress where he was going to sleep. Here, tuck means to put something into safe or convenient place. So, in that way, Anil was now aware about the money. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. Now, see. Now, here line of work means principal activity in your life to earn money. Now, thief is telling us that he had been working for Anil for almost a month. A month he has already passed. But till he hadn't cheated Anil, only he had cheated in shopping. Why? Because he was stealing, means he was keeping by saving 1 rupee every day. And that's why now he is planning something to do. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. Now, see, here thief is telling us that he had already taken Anil in the confidence, and now Anil has good trust on the thief, and that's why Anil had already given one key of the room, and he was also very happy. Now the thief is telling that Anil was very simple, and he had made first time such a trusting person in his life. Now let's see further what's happened. Well, it's time I did some real work. I told myself I'm out of practice, and if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Now see. Now thief is thinking, what is there? Well, it's time I did some real work. I told myself I am out of practice. And if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Now, in the mind of the thief, something was going on. To be or not to be, whether to steal the money or not. He has to steal the money. He is thinking like that because if he will not steal the money, then Anil will waste all his money on his friends. And even Anil is not paying any salary to the thief. So now, by making the plan, what happens? See, Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Sleeping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Now see, Anil was already slept, and a beam of moonlight was stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. Now something was going on in the mind of the thief. He had already made the plan to rob Anil. So he sat on the floor considering the situation. It means he was thinking about the situation, and then he was thinking about the money, and then he was having something in his mind to catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. See, so he wanted to go to Lucknow, sleeping out of the blanket. Now he came out of the blanket. I crept up to the bed. Now crawled. He crawled to the bed of Anil. Now see what happens. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. Now he looks Anil's face and he is doing comparison. Anil was very simple. Anil was very happy person. His face was very clear. There was no lines on his face, but on the face of Anil, there were so many lines, so many scars. So you can see here again Anil and thief. There is comparison between the both faces. Now we can see the character through it also. Next, my hand slip, my hand slide under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. Now see. Now he had already made his mind to steal the money. That's why the thief has slowly slid his hand under the mattress, searched some notes, and when he found, he took out his hand without making sound. During that time, Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards the thief. During that time, the thief was startled, means falling or showing sudden show. Quickly crawled out of the room, and then he went quickly out of the room because now he got the money. He had already taken the money. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pyjamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil rich Arab for a week or two. Now the thief was on the road. He ran, and then the bundle of money he has bind with the string of his pyjama. Then after some distance, He slowed down and he started walking. Then he took out the money, he counted it, and all were 50 rupees notes. And total amount was 600. I could live like an oil rich Arab for a week or two, and this money was enough for the thief. And the thief was thinking that now this much money was very helpful for me for the 15 days, and for these 15 days he can live his life like a oil rich Arab. Now see next. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. Now see, when the thief reached at the station, he did not stop at the ticket office because he was not purchasing any time any ticket. He hasn't purchased any ticket in his life. And then dashed means ran towards. He ran towards straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out, and now Lucknow Express was moving. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. But I hesitated for some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. Now, see. And train was not that much fast. The thief can pick up it. It was not going very speedily, and that's why he was able to manage it, but he couldn't go. So, why it happens with him? Now, the thief is telling us he had already lost the chance to get away to the Lucknow. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. Now, see, when the train already passed away from the platform, he was only person standing on the deserted platform. What is deserted? Deserted means empty platform. I had no idea. He was not having any idea where to spend that night because he had already left the home where he was living along with the Anil. Along with Anil. I had no friends, and he is telling us he was not having any friend because he believes that friends were more trouble than help. Means friends are troublesome for him than the help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. Now, see what he's telling. Anil tells us he did not want to make anyone curious. Curious means eager to know about himself by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. So he didn't want to make anyone very eager to know about him by staying near the station in the hotels. The only person he knew in that city was only Anil, to whom he had already robbed. He had already steal money from. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. Now he had already left the station. Now he was walking through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces. When they had lost their goods, the greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. Now, see the philosophy here by the thief. Thief is telling that in his career of stealing the money, he had made a study of men's faces. So he has the good experience of observing the faces of a particular persons. When they had lost their goods, means when they had lost their money, their goods, the greedy man showed fear. The rich man showed anger. The poor man showed acceptance. Now here Anil was poor man. That's why he was showing acceptance. Now see. But I knew that Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. Now, see, Anil is telling us about the face. Sorry, here, now see, the thief is telling us about Anil's face. When he discovered the theft, means when he discovered who Anil discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. And what type of sadness will be there shown by the Anil? Here, only the loss of trust, not loss of money. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly, it was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. Now, see, he found himself in the Maidan. Maidan means an open area. And sat down on a bench. And it is garden in that in a open area there was a bench. So he sat down on the bench. The night was chilly. Means it was having very cool atmosphere. It was early November. And now see, it was already November month, early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. What is drizzle? Light rain. Soon it was raining quite heavily, and now rain has already started. Now something was going on in the mind of the thief. My shirt and pyjamas stuck to my skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. Now, see, by sitting in the garden and in the rain, now his shirt and pyjama already were wet and they stuck. Stuck means here chipak jana. So they stuck to his skin and a cold wind blew the rain across my face and very cold wind was there and it was raining across on his face. Now he was feeling about the home because he was not having now home. He has already left his shelter. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. And now, from that place, from that garden, he went back to the bazaar and he took shelter in the clock tower and where he sat down. Now he looked towards the clock and it was midnight. It was already 12 o'clock. Now he felt for the notes. Now he remembered about the notes. So that's why he felt about it. They were damp. Now damp means wet. Already gile ho gaye the from the rain. Due to the rain, all the notes were wet. Now see. Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write whole sentences anymore. Now see, he was having the thought process. Thief was having the thought process and he was thinking that this is Anil's money when he touched the money and then he thought that in the morning probably he could have got 2 or 3 rupees and he would have gone for the cinema. But now all money is with a thief. I couldn't cook his meal and now he is not going to cook his meal and he will not go to the bazaar to purchase groceries and vegetables and even he will not learn to write. Now he is not going to study. So all thoughts were coming in his mind. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew could only they bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil. Uh, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. Now see. Now he is thinking. Who is thinking? The thief is thinking. He had forgotten about everything, cooking, even going to bazaar, even learning, study, everything he has forgotten. And that's why now again he thinks, if whole sentences I knew means he could have studied well, then these few hundred rupees are nothing in front of the education. It was a simple matter to steal, means this is very simple job to rob the people, to do stealing, to do theft, but something just as simple to be caught. And it is also very simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man was something else. And now he is thinking that if I want to become a clever and respected man, big man in the society, I should go back to Anil. And now he is telling himself, if only to learn to read and write, and for only education, he has to go to back to the Anil. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Now see. Further, the thief is telling us he hurried back to the room feeling very nervous. Now, thief was feeling very nervous because he knew very well that stealing is very easy for him. But to give that whatever he had stolen, to give that back, it is very, very, very hard work for him. And that is also undetected, means not to be caught. Without being caught, to keep the money safely, it is very, very hard work for him. I opened the door quietly, and he had opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Now, how was the sky? Sky was clouded, and that's why the moonlight was also clouded here. Okay. Now Anil already came. Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed, and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress, and I slipped under it with the notes. Now see. Now Anil was still sleeping, and the thief again crawled to the head of the bed of Anil, and then his hand came up with the notes. He felt Anil's breath on his hand. He remained still for a minute. Then his hand found the edge of the mattress, and then he slowly, stealthily kept the money back under the mattress. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. Now, see. Next morning, the thief woke up very late, but Anil was on his time. So, Anil has already made the tea, and it was also made for the thief also. When he woke up, at that time Anil was ready, and he gave 50 rupees note to the thief. And now the thief is telling us his heart already sank. I thought I had been discovered. And now Anil has given 50 rupees note. So the thief was thinking, thief was having the fear. Heart sank means having the fear. And that's why he thinks that he has been discovered. He has been caught. Now see what happens further. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. Now see what he said. Who? Anil. Anil said, I made some money. He made some money yesterday, and he has given explanation. Now you will be paid regularly. And he is also further adding that he will pay him regularly. My spirits rose, but when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Spirit rose to become happy here. Now see, by getting money, he became very happy. But on the next moment, when he took the note, he saw it was still wet from the night's rain. And again, he thought that Anil might have the knowledge about the money stealing by the thief. Today we'll start writing sentences. He said he knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any efforts. Now see. Now Anil said, today we will start writing sentences. And then he knew, but neither, means here, thief tells us Anil knew everything, but he didn't tell anything and he smiled towards Anil in most appealing way, and the smile came by itself on the face of Anil without any efforts. Now both were laughing, looking at each other, and the secret was kept as the secret. Okay? So, thank you, students. Have a nice day.